Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another video of mine. And today, as you've seen in the thumbnail, etc., I've called this one Teenage Kicks. And this is going to be based on, I've got thrown in First Division players as well. This is going to be based on not who I think is the greatest potential, not who I personally think are the 10 best. I'm going by the ranking system from 10 to 1 of the top 10 performers, in my opinion, this particular season. So your opinion might be completely different. Let me know in the comments, etc. First division players are in the list are generally going to be lower in the list and going to go from 10 to 1, as I said before, because they're playing the first division. So they're not playing at the highest standard in the League of Ireland, but some real gems in the first division as well. There's many players that left out of this list as well, and one or two of them probably have some of the highest ceilings actually in the in Ireland actually. But you have to base on performance and minutes come into it as well and all that kind of thing and what I've seen, basically, etc. So, yeah, let's get straight into this one. Now, at number 10, it's Gavin McAeier of Finn Harps. Now, Gavin's only 16 years of age and underage international. Been fantastic for Finn Harps this season. Been a real bright spark in Finn Harps this season. 14 appearances he's made for the club and he's become a real starter now, to be honest with you. He's made over 1,000 minutes this season. For Finn Harps as well, so he's become a real start in the team, can play attacking midfield anywhere along the front line, can pick up the ball deep, has good technical ability, and as I said, a great, real bright spark for Finn Harps. Now, of course, Finn Harps will be hoping to keep him, as all these clubs will, particularly the ones that are under 18, till they're 18, and then maybe make a few bob on them, which would be fantastic. But Gavin McAeier for me is at number 10. Let me know what you think in the comments if you've seen him regularly this season. Number 9, Garrett McAeier of Sliger Rovers. Only just turned 18. 16 appearances this season. He's made 13 starts, 2 goals. And I know Sliger Rovers had their struggles defensively this season, to be fair. They've been a bit all over the place. But McAeire's still learning. He's only 18. He has made mistakes. But he's been a mainstay in that Sliger Rovers side as well. And he's played well in many games too. Another player, Conor Reynolds, could have been easily in this list as well, by the way, and could easily be in your list too of Sliger Rovers. But I went for Garrett McAeier. He's a big guy as well. He's got a good presence with a bit more experience. He looks like a type of player that can become a real leader actually in this Sliger Rovers team. And as I said, at only 18, he's been fairly impressive for Sliger Rovers this season. Let me know what you think in the comments. Number 8, we've gone for Ree Brennan of Bohemians. Reese is going to be 19 in about a week, I think. He's 18 as I'm doing this video. 12 appearances, only 3 starts. However, the appearances he's made generally, first of all, the goal against Shamrock Rovers was brilliant. He comes on and Tala Stadium in the game where Bowls are 2-0 down. He manages to score the winner. That's a big moment for a young player, for any club, let alone playing for Bowls against your arch rivals in their stadium, getting that winner. That's a massive moment. But you can see, look, there's again, most of these players, obviously there's things they can learn clearly, and that's why Brennan's in there at the side. But he just gives you a good directness, doesn't he? And that kind of, he's got good skill and ability in terms of trying to beat a man, and it's all about choosing moments. But I wouldn't like the idea of that being taken out of the player and becoming too safe, let's say. Obviously, when he's deep, you know what I mean, he could be a little bit more... he often does try things like that when he's deep, but that's all in the learning. All these players are the same, but he's a very, very good young player, and I've been fairly impressed with what I've seen him so far. Some Bowls fans suggest maybe he should be starting more games, in fact, but he's done well. I think it's the right thing, kind of bring him in and out. And, he's done well for Bowles, so he's at number 8. Number 7 now is Vincent Leonard of Dundalk. Dundalk are unbeaten in the first division as I do this video. Vinny is only 17 years of age, underage international, centre back, big presence for a lad who's only 17. He's played 16 games this season for Dundalk and he's even scored 2 goals. Really, really one for the future is Vinny or Vincent. I don't know which one he prefers to be called. We'll go for Vincent for now. Leonard. And again, for such a young player, again, he's you can see the intelligence in his game. Actually, the defensively very, very strong. He looks like and acts like a player that's definitely older. In terms of the way he carries himself, I would suggest, on the pitch, from what I've seen anyway. So, yeah, really, really good player, and really probably be higher in the list if he was playing the Premier, to be honest, because I think his ceiling is high. But let me know what you think in the comments. Number 5, gone for Conor Sullivan at Cork City. The 18-year-old came into the season with a high reputation. 14 appearances for Cork City this season, mainly starting also. But yeah, in terms of potential, he's probably in the top 2 or 3 in the league. But I think he's had some good games and not so good games, and maybe he's thinking about his future a little bit, being linked with clubs of Palace and stuff like that. But you can see the quality he has. He'd be disappointed not to maybe contribute with goals and assists really this season. But you can clearly see the quality he has. I've watched him in quite a number of games this season, never mind last season, but this season. And, there's been games where he hasn't been very prominent in, but he's done 1 or 2 things where you go, yeah, you can see it there. Or he's set up an opportunity and it's led to a goal. Quick feet, excellent. Really, really good quick feet. Very good dribbler, strong as well. Very, very strong, actually. And he's my number 5, Conor Sullivan, Cork City. Let me know what you think in the comments. Number 4 is Melia St Patricks at Athletic. Has really come into it in the last month, I'd say, of the season. He's scored 6 goals now. He's their joint top scorer with Aidan Keena. The 17-year-old was in and out at the start of the season, to be fair. He has made 14 starts, though, to be honest. With Keena out, he started to get more games. But he started to settle a bit more as well. Some people would argue that he's not really suited to the one up top. At times I get that, but then at other times, like the 2 goals he got in a recent win against Waterford, you're kind of going, yeah, but that acceleration and power to get away from the defenders, etc. Obviously, ceiling's high. He's on his way to Spurs. Well, Pats fans would have liked him higher in this list, as in, would they like his performance to be a bit higher this season? Maybe a little bit. But I do think overall he's done very, very well. And as I said, he has chipped in with 6 goals, to be fair. Melia St Patricks Athletic. Number 3, I've gone for Michael Nunan at Shamrock Rovers. And he's actually scored less goals, Nunan, than Melia. He's scored 4. However, he's made less starts for Shamrock Rovers as well. He's had 8 starts for Shamrock Rovers, the 16-year-old, in 18 appearances. So he's been in and out, and he's had other players he's been swapping and changing with. But again, the 2 goals in that game against Bohemians were superb, weren't they, to give Rovers a 2-0 lead in that game? Absolutely brilliant. The power, the strength, presence. Very, very, very clever player. Excellent movement for me as well. He's probably a player that feels like he probably should have a few more goals, to be honest, though. He'd probably feel like he left 1 or 2 chances behind him. Every striker does, but just get the feeling that he'll feel like literally he should have more goals than he actually does. So yeah, that's Michael Nunan in at number 3. Now, number 2 is another Shamrock Rovers player. It's Cory OSullivan. Been very impressed with Cory this season. Only 19 years of age. He can play as a wing back. He's played some games as a wing back and as a centre back. He's impressed me the most as centre back, to be fair. He's made 15 appearances, but 13 of them have been starts, and he's starting to turn into a mainstay. Bear in mind the Shamrock Rovers have Pico, Lopez, Lee Grace and Dan Cleary to choose from. And he's getting games, a lot of games. Very good on the ball. Again, typical really Shamrock Rovers defender, really. Very, very good on the ball. But he's learned the defensive side very well. And, when you've got the likes of Lee Grace or Pico Lopez and Dan Cleary and players of that alongside you, they're going to help you massively. But as I said, very, very impressive, particularly when he's played centre back. And that's where Bradley's kind of sticking with him now. Cory OSullivan, number 2. So at number 1, who is it, you say? It's Elden, Sliger Rovers. Very impressed with Elden this season. 19-year-old. He's got 7 goals. Mainly from the right-hand side, actually. He's had a few games where he's played as the centre forward, but he can play as a centre forward, as you know. But he's been mainly operating on the right and getting the goals from there. He can also drop in and play as a 10, being honest with you as well. But really impressed with him, not afraid to shoot, not afraid to miss. He's one of them strikers, bullish. And when I say strikers, again, he's played mainly off the right. I do see him as a striker, though, that kind of way, but he's mainly played off the right. So he's been impressive. The goal against Shelbourne at Talca Park is, like, what do you say? It's just ridiculously good. unbelievable strike, that. And, you know, he's rescued Sliger Rovers in a number of games this season, actually. Just a really, really good player. And I've been very impressed with him this season. So he's my number one. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Just a few honourable mentions, and let me know as well what players have impressed you as usual. Freddie Anderson at Cork City, centre back, is one that could have made this list. But a couple in the first division. Richard Farazai, to be fair, he's only 16. Reece Knight, brother Jason Knight at Bray Wanderers, both of those players at Bray Wanderers. Josh Cullen at 17-year-old as well at Finn Harps. Finn Harps will be delighted that a couple of players come through. I kind of mentioned Conor Reynolds could have been easy in this list as well. Let me know if there's anyone else that you like in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.